everybody, how you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Petey.
I'm Matt.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Daniel.
Hi, guys.
I'm Megan.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
Hi, guys.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of things on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Lately, we have been enjoying some cooler weather on the farm. We have gotten out of that intense heat that we dealt with last week. We've moved into these cooler temperatures, and it's made work a little more enjoyable. Now, just because it cooled down does not mean that we are not as busy as we were before. We're still pretty busy. Here at the farm market, it still is the plants. I mean, not as much flowers anymore. It's more the vegetable plants. But if I'm being 100% honest with you, we are running low on supplies. We have run out of some stuff completely, and there's some other things that we're just about to run out of. However, we gotta do what we do every morning. We're gonna get started with getting the chores taken care of, and the first thing we need to do is get this farm market set up. First big chore of the morning, all taken care of. The farm market is set up. Now moving on to some other things. Everybody is here at the farm working on a different job. Matthew was helping me get set up this morning, but now he's gonna be moving out here to start watering. Dad is on his way down over the hill. He's gonna get started with feeding animals. I'm gonna help Dad out, and I believe Daniel is down here too, but I'm not sure what he's working on. Hey, we found him. How's watering been going this morning?
Going fine. I'm getting it done.
Daniel said he wanted to go and start feeding animals, so I took over watering for him. There's not much left to water, so I should be done shortly. And that wraps up watering. All the greenhouses are now taken care of. I'll be 100% honest with you, it goes a lot faster now that these greenhouses are emptied out pretty good. And hopefully by the end of this week, we can get a lot more of those peppers moved out. We also have some cabbage and broccoli we're gonna try and move out. Having the plants around is always a good time, except for when it gets really, really hot and you have a lot of them. That takes a lot of time out of your day. But as mentioned, we're almost done with them. We get questions about the mamas that we have here on the farm quite often. They actually are all right here at this feeder. So these two, and then this one right here on the end. We have number 48, 50, and 34. Those were the three that were bred. We did have a fourth one that was bred. She would not take. We tried multiple times and it just would never work out. But the three that did take, they are healthy and it looks like everything's going just fine. So hopefully within the next couple months, we'll start seeing calves. We do have all the information written down and put on a calendar, so it is gonna be a little bit yet, but we're still excited. Basket number 1 collected. And now we have our second basket of eggs. So that means the chickens are now all taken care of, which finishes off the animals for the morning. Don't worry, I didn't forget about grading eggs. Now earlier on, I was talking about our cole crops that we had in one of the greenhouses and how we needed to move them out of here. There's just one little problem when it comes to these cole crops that we have. All these cole crops here were originally planted for sales, so they're in the 806 packs. Now it's very hard to gauge how many plants that you're actually gonna sell. Some years we sell more, some years sell less, and this year, I believe we sold more. And in an effort to make sure that we had plenty of plants for the people in our community, we overseeded. We overseeded these cole crops quite a bit. So what do we have here? We have some cole crops, we have kohlrabi, we have broccoli, we have cauliflower, and we have too much. Yeah, there's just too much here. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, these plants don't look that bad, and I would agree with you. These look great. However, we're just not able to sell them, and it's getting to the point where if we don't get rid of them, they're gonna start getting root bound, because right now they look pretty good. So we have a few options with these plants here. One, we could just lower the price on them and just push them out the door, not make any profit on them, actually lose profit on them. Two, we could kind of feed them to the animals. I mean, you've seen us do that in the past. Not on purpose, but we could feed them to the animals. Or we could do the third option, which is gonna be the most likely and what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna transplant these out into the field. So the big question is, what do we do with plants that we cannot sell? Well, we plant them ourselves. Now, some of you may be thinking, can you do that? Is it gonna work out okay for you? And yeah, it's gonna work out fine. We're not too worried about the varieties because all the varieties that we plant ourselves, we also plant for our customers. So that's not gonna be an issue. And you can never go wrong with having some more cole crops out in the field. We usually do 2 large plantings. We do all different day varieties so that we can extend our plantings as long as possible. But with this stuff in the greenhouse, this will give us an extra opportunity to do some more harvesting and maybe extend our first planting into our second. But yeah, that's a big job that's gonna need to be accomplished today. I wish we could sell all of them, make this a lot easier on us, but we're not gonna be able to sell them all. It's crazy. So here's what we have on the wagon. We've broken everything down. We have our cabbage on the back, and we have 2 trays of cauliflower. We're not sure if we're gonna take the cauliflower out there. We're not sure yet. Then we have some kohlrabi and broccoli. And that's cleared out quite a bit of space here at the back side of the greenhouse. It looks like all we have left in here is some tomatoes, pepper, and Thai basil. And that's the rest of the plants that are in here. So what we're gonna do is pull these plants up around to the front, make sure that we don't need any up there, and then the rest is going out to the field. Turns out the only thing we needed to fill up was the cauliflower, so we're not taking any cauliflower out with us to the field. And just to give you an understanding of why we need to get this stuff planted, this is what we have here. So we have all of this stuff that we have to sell first, and then we would move down to the stuff in the greenhouse. It's just gonna work out that we're gonna be planting everything, which I think will be the best decision in the end.
Plants are gonna be much better off in the ground than they will be staying in these trays, especially as we get further into summertime and it starts getting hotter out. You're gonna have to keep watering them multiple times a day. It's better just have them in the ground so they can be growing.
And look, who do we have here? Are you happy to be home?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like you're already back to playing. Do you like your little animals? Animals, yeah, wow. Yesterday, all the girls got back from visiting their family, and now they're back to work. And Callie, are you having fun? Whoa. After I got the plants brought up, we all came over to help Daniel get his planter all set and ready to go. He is going to be planting beans, and the last thing he needed was fertilizer, which he now has. We just got the mechanical transplanter hooked up, and Dad is now on his way back to the field, and we're on our way with all the plants. Now that we got a little bit of rain and all that irrigation we've been putting on, these plants out here look pretty good. Just to give you an idea of where we are, these are the potatoes that we were watering. We go down a little further, that's where the cole crops are. And right across this road right here is where we're gonna be putting the cole crops today. And we're gonna be starting off with transplanting kohlrabi. Taking all the tags out before we get started planting. That way they will not be in the field. What's nice is today we will not need to move the irrigation pipe over right away because we are watering with the transplanter. I'll give you a quick little demonstration of how this transplanter works. Once the transplanter is sat onto the ground, these wheels drive our mechanisms that we use for planting. We have our planting mechanisms in the back that spin with the wheels. It drives everything. And as it brings down the mechanism, we have these little rubber ends called cups. We set the plant in the cup, and as it pushes down, it closes. And then once the mechanism comes underneath, it will open up and drop the plant down into the soil. Pretty straightforward and simple mechanism, and it works great. Now, every time we get someone new helping us on this machine, one thing we have to tell them is that this is not going to hurt your finger. These are rubber and they don't close that hard. They just close enough to hold onto the plant. So you can leave your finger in there until it closes, which is what we recommend so that the plant does not fall out. We don't want any misses, we don't want the plants falling out, and by keeping your finger in there with the plant, well, that helps for the plant to stay in there.
Actually, putting your hand in there hurts really, really bad, but we're just, you know, big tough guys. So it doesn't look like it hurts because we're so tough.
The only thing that makes this a little difficult planting today is that we are using packs. Now, usually when we're transplanting, we use the 98s, which makes it a lot easier because we don't need to pull everything out of packs. Fortunately, these plants are nice and moist today, so they come out easy, and they're not rooted too deeply, which also makes it easier. I'll explain how you transplant a little bit on this end with the mechanical transplanter. You do want the plant to hang out a little bit, just like this. We want our root ball to sit a little further back so that it's planted down into the soil deeper. You can push it right up against like that, but it's not recommended. We do like to leave about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of space. That way the plant is firmly rooted. You also don't want the plant hanging too far out. As the plant gets set into the soil, if it's hanging too far out, it will drag and then it will plant the plant sideways, which is something we do not want. We want our plants straight up and down. Makes it a lot easier when they're growing, and it makes sure that they get the moisture that is being dispensed with each plant. Well, that was perfect timing. We just got to the end of the row and we put our last kohlrabi plants into the soil. Next, we're gonna be moving on to broccoli and then finishing off with cabbage.
What? Ready? Yeah.
Turn my water on. Yeah, we're ready.
What?
Yeah, we're good. Go.
Water's on, right?
Yep, water's on. Come on, Dad. What does he think? We're not professionals or something? Oh my goodness. This isn't my first day on the job, Dad. Don't worry.
What?
This isn't my first day on the job.
Now you're just asking for it.
Yeah, now I'm just asking for trouble. We ran into a little bit of a hiccup. We ran out of water. We thought we were gonna have enough, but we didn't. So we're gonna run back and fill up the tank a little bit more. And then once we have plenty of water, we'll be able to finish off transplanting. Well, the hope was to get all those cold crops planted before lunch. However, because we had to come back for water, it's not gonna happen. So we're gonna head down and get our lunch, and then we'll finish transplanting this afternoon. Alrighty, alrighty. We have made it in for lunch. Looks like Grammy made Rice Krispie treats, but that's not what's for lunch. We are having, ooh, chipped venison. What a deal. Right when we got finished with lunch, Dad took Daniel back to his planter, and we were running water into our transplanter the whole time, so we should have enough to finish now. As you can see, parking lot is still full at the farm market. We're busy. We're always busy around here. Thankfully, we're not as busy as when the greenhouses were full, because if we had all this stuff we have to do today and that stuff, oh, we would not have got it all done. Loading on the cabbage. So we are getting started off with the broccoli. We're gonna finish off our last few trays. And then the last thing that will need to be transplanted is the cabbage. We should be done here relatively shortly, but getting this stuff moved out of the greenhouse and into the soil will be a big job accomplished. We just got finished with another row of cole crops, and there have been some sprinkles coming down. I don't think it was supposed to rain, but we're getting hit with some pretty big raindrops.
Dad, I don't think we can finish, Dad. It's raining.
At this point, we'll take all the rain we can get, but it'd be nice if we could finish up before it starts raining.
It's cold, too. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's cold rain. Don't go crushing my cabbage.
I couldn't if I tried.
The last of the cabbage that needs to be transplanted is now on our planter. Whew, we're ready to go. I don't know, Matt, how do you feel about planting cabbage?
Time I got to do it all year, so I'm excited.
Yeah, look at that. Matthew's been working back at the farm market, but now he's out here planting and
saved it.
And this is how you know Matthew hasn't been planting all year. His side fell off. Look at that.
You didn't even put your side on.
It's up there, see? No. Hold on, Dad, mine's falling. I think this cabbage is gonna like its new home. I don't think it liked living in the greenhouse, Matt. That was a good deal. We got 3 more rows of cole crops put back in the fields. Now, I probably would not have planted this stuff except for the fact that it got too large in the greenhouse. That's usually what we'll do if anything gets too large for the greenhouse, or if we're not able to keep stuff watered. I mean, putting it out in the field, I mean, that's the best place for it. Now, something that's interesting and kind of a problem where we live is the air that we're getting this time of the year is coming out of Canada. And as a lot of you know, they've been dealing with those large fires up there. So because of that, our air quality has suffered quite a bit. And like today, it's just not good. Usually I can see that whole mountain over there, and I can only see half of it because of all the haze from the smoke. I mean, it's nothing compared to what some of the people up in Canada are dealing with, but it is affecting our air quality where we live, and it is affecting the amount of sunlight that our plants so desperately need. So it is affecting us. Hopefully it isn't like this for long, because at this point in the year, this is a crucial growing time for a lot of our crops that we have in the soil, and we would prefer these sunny days. It's amazing how stuff that happens so far away can affect you that much. And I was checking the weather, and it's telling us that our air quality is unhealthy, which is not good. Every once in a while you'll get a big whiff of smoke and you'll actually like taste it kinda. It's not cool, but hopefully it'll be done away with soon. However, now that we're done with planting, we got our wagon hooked up and we're on our way home. I'm gonna get this wagon pulled down around back and parked, and then we're gonna be moving over to the garden. We have a little bit of an issue we're taking care of. Here we are out at the garden, and we've made a little bit of an adjustment out here. Matthew is taking his time right now, and he is going through the field with a hand seeder that has some red beets in it. Now the interesting thing is that we already planted this field with red beets, but we had a little bit of a problem. They never came up. And what did come up, it didn't look too nice. And the reason for that is because we've been dealing with such dry weather that the red beets never had a chance to sprout. And to make our rows even, we went through with the mechanical transplanter, and now Matthew is following through with the little hand seeder. Now we call this Grammy's garden because it's Grammy's garden. She's out here inspecting. Now what else did we have out here? And we had the red beets, and what else?
Dill and spinach.
And that stuff didn't come up as that, yeah. Nothing came up. And it's like we can't even blame the deer this time.
Really?
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
If they come back when we have the red beets up, somebody is in big trouble.
I don't know who's gonna be in trouble, but it's not me.
And then Matthew finished up here with the regular beets. The seed bring it down and...
Matthew and I just took turns planting all of the red beets. Now we're making a few more row markers for dill and for lima beans. I think spinach as well. Yeah, spinach. We need spinach too. When we seeded all this stuff, we didn't expect it to be as dry as it was. So in the upcoming days, we're hoping it's gonna rain. But if it doesn't end up raining, we just might have to switch over to doing some drip line out here as well, which is something that we necessarily don't wanna do, but if it gets to it, we're gonna have to.
Are we planting light rutabagas?
No, I don't think we're planting rutabagas.
What about peas?
No, not peas. What are you looking for?
About cabbage?
Nope.
Dill?
Dill. I got endive. Turnips? Come on, guys. When you're farming over 80 acres of vegetables, you only use the top tier equipment like this hand seeder. Gets the job done.
So, turns out for dill, we're gonna use the same one we were using, so I just gotta put it back in now.
Oh, Matt's a professional. He's got it all under control. Oh, that's good. So this means that the row Matthew just went out will be our dill, and then this row right to the right of it will be our spinach. As Matt was working on the spinach, Grammy asked if we could help her put her lima beans into the soil. My only concern is, this is a lot of lima beans. Like, there's a whole row of lima beans. Who's gonna eat all these? It's not gonna be me. We're trying to keep these about 3 inches apart. You just do your best when you're planting by hand, you know? It's not the end of the world if they're closer or farther apart. And there you have it, a nice long row of lima beans.
Don't know who's gonna pick them.
I do. Grammy.
Do you like lima beans?
No, I despise lima beans.
Yeah, ugh. Do you like lima beans?
I only eat them because I sit next to Grammy.
Oh no. But guess what? It makes Grammy happy, so we plant the lima beans. And if she asks us to pick them, we gotta pick them.
Anything to please Grammy.
Well, we just got through a wave of customers. It was pretty busy in the farm market. I came down to help Megan because she was all by herself, and the milk order just got here. So I'm gonna be working in the farm market with Megan for, I don't know how long, until I'm needed for another job. I've been working in the farm market, but I just wanted to come outside. I don't know if you can tell, but it is so smoky around here. Oh my goodness. Over here, it's super smoky. I can almost I almost can't see the mountain. I can't see that mountain. There's so much smoke out here, and you can just smell it in the air. It smells like there's a campfire. So we did not see anything of Tracy all day. Where have you been, Tracy?
I went to the food show with April.
The food show is for all the bulk goods that we do here in the farm market. So Tracy was testing stuff and checking out new products, which I think went well.
It went well. We got a lot of deals.
Ooh, deals. It is now closing time here on the farm. Before we start putting stuff away though, I just want to show you how empty the cooler is. We have all this empty space in here. I mean, just look at that. If that is a testament to how busy we have been, it's just crazy. You can see we have all this open space over here. Along the top, that is all open space. Those are empty boxes. What are you doing? So you can just see that all this stuff is open, which means we got to go to the wholesaler. Not only is that side empty, this side over here is empty, and it's all gonna need to be filled. It just is what it is. So for now, we're gonna start putting everything away and then moving it into the cooler. Ready, set, go! We just got the farm market all closed up. It is nasty out here. Like the sun is blocked out. I thought it was gonna clear up more as the day went on, but it did not. So we are heading up to the house to get out of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dad's already yelling for his pants. Dinner looks really, really good. Grammy, what are we having tonight?
Swiss steak over rice and fresh asparagus.
What a deal. That looks good. Alrighty. Everybody is now moving out to the table. You guys know what that means. This is where we're gonna end the video today. I would like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.